In India, furnitures were built bad quality, and we have seen a lot of suppliers there during our journey, and we were talking about a lot of issues about quality of the furniture, about compliance things.
That's when you decided to get into the sourcing part of the furniture business. So when we look at India and when we look at Vietnam, what is the key differences that you find between the products, people and approach to market?
Carpentry in Germany is quite different from here in India.
So maybe you can let us know, your experience in building a furniture. What kind of segments you were working on when you had your own company.
Yeah.
And what kind of segments that you're trying to address.
We were specialized in producing hotel furniture for the European market, about 2,000 units every year. This is what I have seen in India only.
So in India, I think you're working with multiple suppliers, and I'm sure that there are a lot of areas that you would have witnessed where people can improve their product design, their product development, skill in finishing the product. So what is your advice to them for furniture manufacturers in India?
They have a big portfolio of products. They can do everything, they say. They produce from the table over the sideboard to a chair, for example. They're all quite similar. Less of them really unique selling point, a really unique product, which they are really specialized in.
There has been a lot of talks about compliances, EUDR compliances here, and I'm sure there's so many other compliances that we have seen in the past, we are facing, and we will see in the future. So maybe you can throw some light on EUDR and other compliances.
To save the environment for deforestation is the goal of the EUDR. The EUDR is here to save India for deforestation of their forests. With the EUDR, we have to have for each product we deliver to the European market, we have the complete supply chain of the wood material which is used, including geological coordinates where the material comes from. This is of course a big challenge for everybody to collect all this information. So we started very early here in India, educating and training the people about these needs to make it for them easier to get all the information, so they will have, so they will be able to sell to the European market.
Hello friends, welcome to the next episode of my podcast, Amazing Mastercrafters. Today I have a guest from Germany, my dear friend Martin. Martin is a product specialist and sourcing specialist on furniture. Welcome to the podcast, Martin.
Thank you, George. Thank you for inviting me.
Martin, we would like to know your journey, how you landed up in product sourcing and quality and compliance.
Yeah, well, I started my career in 1997 when I started as a apprenticeship for a carpenter at my father's workshop, and after that I did my master carpenter as well. I studied business administration, and my father already took me very early in the management, so I was with the year 2006 I already was CEO for my company, and then we grew until the year 2020 up to 60 people. We were specialized in producing hotel furniture for the European market, about 2,000 units every year. And this was really challenging, always to put all the needs of the different people together, like the owner of the hotel, he wants to pay less money, the one who's running the hotel wants to have a high quality, us as the carpenter who has to build the products, they still want to earn some money and want to deliver high quality as well. And this is how I started my career. And after in the year 2020, the company got taken over by a construction company, and I was still CEO for the company. And in the year 2024, I got an opportunity to travel to Vietnam together with a friend to look for suppliers in Vietnam. My idea was maybe to find a supplier for hotel projects as well, and we have seen a lot of suppliers there during our journey, and we were talking about a lot of issues about quality of the furniture, about compliance things, and yeah, it ended up in the idea maybe to change my perspective, what to do in my life, and maybe start a new career in dealing with vendors outside from Europe, buying outside from Europe compliant products for the European market. And we negotiated a little bit about that, and in the end of 2024 I changed to a European company which is in online marketing, selling great furniture from all across the world. Yeah.
Oh, that's great, Martin. So I think you're the first person who has been a master carpenter, and I'm sure that our audience will have a lot to learn from you. So maybe you can let us know, your experience in building a furniture. What kind of segments you were working on when you had your own company.
Yeah.
And what kind of segments that you're trying to address.
Carpentry in Germany is quite different from here in India. In Germany, a lot of companies are really focused and specialized in a smaller amount of different products. For us, it was the hotel furniture, and we were specialized, for example, in producing the wardrobes, everything which was made out of chipboard with melamine, with edge bending, where you needed beams are, a CNC. And we implemented lean management and lean production system in our workshop, and we were able to add to our USP, which was the production of the sideboards and the rest out of melamine, and we added all the other components like glass, like metal, like hinges, whatever you need to have a complete product. And for that we had a big net of sub-suppliers which we are working together, and yeah, with this lean production management, to have the right material to the right time on the right place in the right quality at the right person with the right information. This was the challenge, and this was how we specialized in this area, and this is how we got successful with our products.
So in India, I think you're working with multiple suppliers, and I'm sure that there are a lot of areas that you would have witnessed where people can improve their product design, their product development, skill in finishing the product. So what is your advice to them for furniture manufacturers in India?
Yeah, a lot of furniture producers I have visited in the last year, they have a big portfolio of products. They can do everything. They say they produce from the table over the sideboard to a chair, for example, and they're all quite similar. Less of them, they have a really unique selling point, a really unique product which they are really specialized in, and this is a thing what I think it's more important than to have a lot of products. Of course, a lot of products might attract to a lot of buyers to come, but if everybody has a lot of products, then it's likely that the buyer moves on to the next one if the quality doesn't matter, if the quality doesn't fit to his expectations. And this would be one thing what I think they have to learn to specialize on some products, and then getting better by doing is more times, and this is the first way. The second thing is there's a lot of possibilities to improve in how to produce the products, in how to make the process, how to adapt new technologies in the process. And of course, this goes along with educating their employees. I see a lot of chances for them. Yeah, good.
So you have been to Vietnam. I think we talked about that. Change in your life came in when you went to Vietnam and you witnessed furniture in Vietnam, and then that's when you decided to get into the sourcing part of the furniture business.
Yeah.
So when we look at India and when we look at Vietnam, what is the key differences that you find between the products, people, and approach to market?
Okay, the products and the way of producing products in Vietnam is different because they produce components by themselves, doing finished components, including lacquering and the whole process, and then they will assemble the product together with hinges and drawers and the rest, and then they have a complete product, and each product looks like the other one. The way in India furnitures were built is that they built the case complete, including all the hinges, the doors, and whatever, in raw, and then they start the sanding process, and then they start the finishing process, and it's all be done in the assembled way of the furniture, and this leads to a bad quality for the finish inside of the furniture. For my opinion, it leads to a lot more work and to a lot longer process in producing, and I think this is. I didn't know this way of producing a furniture either, because in Germany we do it the same way like I've seen it in Vietnam. This was a big thing for me to understand how they do it, and this was something what I was trying already to change with some vendors. For example, making the back wall removable so they can lacquer the complete furniture without the back wall in the way. So if you spray in, the lacquer can go out as well, and it works better. This was one way, one thing which is big there. Well, the other thing, machinery, they close have the same, but Vietnam is a little bit further what the management processes, for example, are they already have lean in their processes. They already have a process to find where they waste time in their process, or a process to find where they waste material in their processes, and this leads to improvements. They have already systems like this, which comes along with this lean management, and this is what I have seen in India only in a few companies now. This is a thing where they definitely could improve.
So something that you find in India which is better than other countries in terms of product designing, or like in terms of the number of substrate India is using, or anything that you find that India is uniquely placed in their furniture offering?
Yeah, India has a lot of good types of wood, shisha, mango, acacia. There will be a demand on the European market, and you can build very nice, massive meuble out of it. With massive wood furnitures, they are good furniture which you can sell, and for these furnitures, the Indian market is perfect. Working together with Indian people is always, you always talk to the owner of the company. You have short ways to get to an answer or to get changed something. This is also good for that. So you can react really quick and have changes done. And this is of course an advantage for the Indian companies as well. Yeah.
There has been a lot of talks about compliances, like EUDR compliances, and I'm sure there are so many other compliances that we have seen in the past, and we are facing, and we will see in the future. So maybe you can throw some light on EUDR and other compliances that you find are, and even it could be even finishing related compliances like REACH compliance on finishing. So maybe some information could be really helpful for people on the podcast.
Yeah. To save the environment for deforestation is the goal of the EUDR. The EUDR started years back. It was already postponed for 1 year. We were already working on the EUDR for the last 1.5 years. And the EUDR is here to save India for deforestation of their forests. And with the EUDR, we have to have, for each product we deliver to the European market, we have to have the complete supply chain of the wood material which is used, including the geological coordinates where the material comes from. This is of course a big challenge for everybody to collect all this information, and so we started very early here in India, educating and training the people about these needs to make it for them easier to get all the information, so they will have they will be able to sell to the European market. And there were some discussion in the last weeks again about maybe postponing the EUDR another year or not. It's not really decided yet on the end from the EU till yesterday, I know, and but it's most likely that it will not postponed, and we have to start with the 1st of January 2026 to have the geological coordinates for each delivery we will get into Germany. We need then to use this geo coordinates to put them into the tracer system to get a number to get the customs done. This is EUDR, which is a big issue, of course, but there are other issues coming as well. There is another one is for REACH compliance, for packaging. For example, the EU started with the PPWR, the Packaging and Packaging Waste Regulation. In next year, they want to reduce packaging and packaging waste, and they want to increase the use of recycled material. So the goal is that in 2030 all packaging material contains a certain amount of recycled material, and of course this is a challenge for the people here in India as well. And also for this topic I was visiting some suppliers to find out what is used right now, what is already done, what has to be done, and so on. And for other compliance things like REACH, it's important for our products that they have to be compliant with all with the REACH with the REACH regulation. And REACH is for chemical stuff in your products, and we have a lot of chemicals in, for example, in lacquer, which we use, lacquer and stain, which we use for our finishes. And we started already half a year back, or maybe a little bit longer, with standardizing all our surfaces. So we have a proper SOP, a standard operation process, how to create a certain surface in a certain color with a certain gloss level, and we get these tested for REACH. So on the end we know if a supplier of us is using this SOP, we will have a REACH compliant product with the surface, because the surface get tested from the company who provides the lacquer. And this is an advantage for us as well.
So Martin, if you have to let's say develop a new product, right, how do you go about doing it? And then you have to measure the performance and quality of that product, then how you would go about doing it?
I answer the first part of the question. Produce or to design a new product, we have some people in-house, they have some good ideas what could meet the requirements from our customers and which will be sellable. And then they start, but they don't start without having any information. They already have a catalog of standards. We have construction standards, we have surface standards, we have hardware standards which we have to use, we have standardized sizes and so on. And we have test standards which the products have to pass to be safe, and we have standards which materials can be used for REACH and so on. With all these standards, there is already ground level of safe. The product is a ground level of safe, and then it can be produced as a first sample, and then of course the first sample will be tested here in India from the vendor together with our QC. Sometimes we take them for a testing company, also for packaging and testing of the packaging and so on. This is the first part of the question. The second part you have to...
My second question was that if you have to look at the quality of the product as per your defined standards, then how do you go about testing those products and how do you ensure that you get quality products?
Well, this is actually the first part already depends on this as well. Because of the standards we have set, then we can make sure that the quality will fit on the end as well. And when we get this sample, the first sample, we of course have swatches to check if it's the same color, can check with our standards, with our checklists we have, if we thought on everything is there. We have to do the checklist for the GPRS, is the General Product Safety Regulation as well, so all products are safe for the European market. And when this is done and the appearance of the furniture is nice, our QC will send us a report. We will look at this report and then we release it, and then the product is okay for mass production.
Great. So Martin, if you look at the Indian market, there are various channels in which furniture is sold. Like there are physical retail shops, both big and small, and then there are online platforms who sell furniture. So if I look at the European market, especially if I look at Germany, then what are the channels through which furniture is sold in Germany?
This is pretty much the same like here in India. We have the same channels, and each channel has different challenges with it. Selling online means that products have to be proper packed, so they be easy to transport to the end customer, won't break on the way. This is actually the biggest challenge with this online market, and this is one of my daily work topics as well, that we improve our Indian vendors to improve the packaging so it will pass EUDR standards for transportation reasons.
So if you look at what let's say I do besides work, is I love doing podcasts. So if I look at Martin, what does Martin loves to do outside of work, outside of day-to-day routine?
During the week I try to keep myself fit doing some sports. On the weekend I go running. I used to run some half marathons. I will try to do this year again. I have to catch up again with my old times, but I'm not close to it yet, but I will work on it. And I have a new passion. 1.5 years ago I learned paragliding.
Paragliding?
And I also got the opportunity to go paragliding here in India as well.
Oh, really?
I went.
Where was this?
It was in Beer Billing. It's a really famous paragliding spot. And I went there last year in October for 4 days, and I went paragliding there. It was amazing, and amazing view, amazing area. And when I see the world from this perspective, when I'm flying, with my parachute, with my paraglider, then you see everything with different eyes as well. You have time to think. About different stuff, about how you could improve stuff and something like this. This opens my mind for new stuff, and this makes me really much fun to do.
That's great. If I look at the market, in India for furniture, it has really changed over the last 25 years. 25 years people were making smaller products like handicrafts. and then they were making products with antiques and old furniture, and that's how the export started from India. Slowly they went into wooden furniture, and then in between there was a trend for industry furniture. But now I see that the current trend is for wooden furniture, which is mostly around mango, acacia, and shisham to some extent, and now we see a lot of oak. So what's the trend in Germany, and how do you see this trend changing over the next maybe 3 to 5 years?
Well, this is not too easy to predict. The same as you, I look back to 25 years of experience in this area. When I started with my apprenticeship, we were still producing vineyard furniture for IKEA. Now IKEA is not sourcing in Germany anymore. They went to other countries where they have less cost for employees and for producing. And in Germany it was that everybody was specializing in some products, and I think the same I see here for India. They will specialize more in the products which they can do good. They have to invest in training, in education, their people, in management, in new machineries. Well, I don't know how AI will affect this craftsmanships as well. There will be a lot of opportunities, but nobody can say what will be in 5 years. But I think even in 5 years there will be a big demand in Europe for nice furnitures out of solid wood out of India.
So a lot of students also watch your podcast channel. So what's the message to them? The students who are design students and they want life to learn craftsmanship.
Yeah.
And you've done it for so many years.
Yeah.
So are there opportunities for them if they have to go and learn from good design team members, say in European countries? Do you feel that's a good opportunity for them?
Yeah, of course it is a good option. Even in Germany, there are a lot of people first make apprenticeship as a carpenter, and then they start making a design studium to get a product designer. Of course, in Germany we have a really good schools for teaching all this craftsmanship, and this would be a good idea, of course. Even if they just come for some months, would be helpful, of course. Yeah.
So I think some of them I'll ask you to reach across. They could reach across to you. If they need support.
Yeah.
In
of
meeting,
course.
I think that's a good opportunity for students.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Martin, for coming on our podcast, Amazing Mastercrafter. It was a pleasure hosting you, and this conversation will go on. I think I remember I met you about 1 year back and had a great relationship, and thanks for being here. And thanks to my audience who have stayed last till the end. Like the podcast, share the podcast, and if you want many more podcasts, just ensure that you subscribe to our channel. Thank you.